The Renters' Rights Act, said to be the biggest shake-up in the letting industry for a generation, has become law. So, I asked Housing Secretary Steve Reed about the new rules facing landlords and tenants. The Renters' Rights Act was very, very popular amongst our viewers. Lots of them commented, rare win for the government. So when are the changes coming in?
The Renters' Rights Act is a massive win for the 11 million people in this country who rent their own home and have been denied the security they need for decades now. So the law came into force, it got royal assent a couple of weeks ago when the King signed it. The measures in it come into force on the 1st of May. So we've just agreed that by talking with representatives of the renters groups and the landlords groups, but it means that from that date, if you're a renter, you're protected against a no-fault eviction, which is where the landlord can just sling you out of your own home for no reason at all, no breach of the tenancy. Maybe they want to put up the rent and get someone else in instead. You're now protected from that. That's very important for the security that the renter needs. But it also means that one of the biggest causes of homelessness is then taken away, and that's people being thrown out of their own home by landlords for no reason.
You're banning no-fault evictions. Does that mean landlords just have to keep tenants in indefinitely?
No, what the law bans is no-fault evictions, where a tenant is being kicked out of their home for no reason. The landlord's just decided to sling current tenants out and maybe get someone in that will pay more. You can't do that anymore with this law change. Landlords can remove tenants for legitimate reasons, like a serious breach of the tenancy, refusal to pay rent, causing antisocial behaviour or damage to the property. In those circumstances, there has been a fault. What they can't do is just throw people out of their own homes for no reason in an attempt to maybe get another tenant in, make them pay higher rent.
What if they just decide I'm sick of being a landlord and I don't want to have a tenant anymore?
Well, if a landlord is going to genuinely sell the property, then that is a legitimate reason to end a tenancy. What they can't do is kick someone out so they can get someone in that will pay a higher rent. There are other things they're stopped from doing. You know, if you sign a tenancy agreement and you agree a rent, the landlord can't then suddenly put the rent up massively a few weeks later on or multiple times in a single year. People want a budget for how much they're going to pay on rent. They're going to pay rise once a year. They shouldn't have a rent rise more frequently than that either.
This one part of the policy was slightly controversial. Lots of people loved it, lots of people questioned it. You won't let landlords refuse tenants unreasonably with pets. What's that all about?
If somebody has got a pet animal, if you're an older person, you're downsizing and your pet is part of your family, it might be your only companion, why should you have to get rid of a much loved dog or cat because you're moving into a new property? If there's a good reason, then the landlords. Well, it could be an out of control animal that the owner isn't controlling properly. But if there's not a good reason, then the presumption now would be that the pet can come into the property as well. Because for many families, that pet is part of the family, and you don't want to break the family up because you're trying to find somewhere to rent.
You won't let landlords turn tenants down if they're on benefits or if they've got children. Does that not just mean that landlords are going to have to accept any potential tenant?
Well, it can't be right, can it, that because you're earning a low wage and your wages are topped up with housing benefit, that you therefore can't find somewhere to live. They're perfectly respectable people doing the right thing, going out to work, earning a wage, bringing up the family, and yet they can't find somewhere to put a roof over their heads. It doesn't seem reasonable to have prejudice like that in what should be an open market. So we're trying to give families the security they need to find somewhere to live, while at the same time being fair to landlords. These aren't people that are going to cause them problems. There is prejudice out there. We need to tackle that.
Why would anyone become a landlord with these tight restrictions?
Well, what landlords and tenants want in a market is predictability and security, and these changes give both sides that. The vast majority of landlords are good, decent people who are offering a service to people who want to pay for that service. This isn't targeting them, it's targeting that fringe group who are rogue landlords. That's where the problem is. The good landlords, the majority, have nothing to worry about.
Lots of people are saying landlords will stop, because of these new rules, will stop renting out their properties and that'll drive up the rent prices. Is that true?
No, there's absolutely no evidence to say that landlords will stop renting out their properties. It's how they make money, it's how they make a living. Of course they'll keep renting out. It will help good landlords because it will take the rogue element out of the market and make renting a better prospect for people who are looking for somewhere to live.
Really difficult for young people to get on the property ladder at the minute. What sort of things can you say to give them hope that they will one day be able to buy a house?
The dream of home ownership that was open to me when I was younger is closed off to young people because we're just not building enough homes in this country. We've got the lowest level for years at the moment, inherited from the previous government. So we're changing the law today. The reason the bell behind me is going is because we're voting on changes to the planning system that will speed up decision making so we can get spades in the ground faster, cranes in the sky, and start building the homes that will open up the door to home ownership to young people or anyone else that needs a place of their own and wants to own it.